Hey friends, Steve Havill, coach, consultant, and ambassador of Sharing the Love. And today I want to talk about integrating our past. See, what does that even mean? Well, I think it means that stuff happens in our life. We call it damage, call it issues, call it baggage, whatever you want to call it. We're left with stuff that affects the way we operate and navigate life day to day in our choices and our behaviors, in what we're willing and unwilling to do. Some of it holds us back, some of it propels us forward, but it all impacts our daily behavior. And the beautiful thing is, as we go through life, we evolve, we grow, and we get to take conscious choice for how we interpret these things. That's where this power of integrating our past comes from. That's where the depth and the gift of looking back across the landscape of our life and saying, all this happened for a reason. What's the gift in there? And we have the power to literally heal ourselves, to heal our wounds by accepting those things that happened as a necessary part of the journey. That we wouldn't be the amazing human beings that we are today without those things having happened. It's the greatest gift we can give ourselves. It goes a long way towards the journey of one of our most important quests, which is learning to love ourselves. It's about self-acceptance. It's about accepting those things that happened, knowing that they were a required part of our journey, and really helping us love ourselves by dealing with that, by taking on the opportunity to heal those past issues and incidents and integrate them in a holistic way. So that when we look back at those things, when we get up against our stuff and we think, oh, I shouldn't do that because this thing that happened in the past might happen, we can stop and chickadee check ourselves and say, no, there was something really cool that came out of that. And then take action and do that thing, make that difference, express yourself in that way. Because we've all been held back by something, worrying that whatever happened in the past could happen this time. So I think self-love, to me, it's so much about, like in the airplane, when the oxygen mask falls and they say, put it on yourself first before your baby so you can be responsible to take care of them. That's the same thing with self-love. We have to learn to love ourselves so that we can make our contribution in the world and really share our love fully, openly, unconditionally. So here's the challenge. The challenge of why we don't do this, I believe, is that we just don't think about it. We go through the busyness of life and all of a sudden we just start saying things like, well, it is what it is. Or that's just the way I am. That's how I roll. Whatever it is, we justify instead of taking responsibility to reinvent it, to reintegrate it in a more positive and powerful way. And I want you to consider that it was all necessary to become who we are today, to carve our character. And so I want to invite you to take on a session, a go deep, integrate your past session. It could take 15 minutes, it could take an hour, who knows? Your story is your own story. But I want you to look back at all of those things that you would say, hey, this is my damage. These are the things that happened. This was the hard knocks that I was dealt in life. And I want you to go through and look at 3 powerful things in this deep dive. Get into a blissful, peaceful, quiet state, uninterrupted, create your environment, and really go for that walk through your past. And really look at what happened. All of those incidents, all of those events where you basically either, were mistreated, or you held back, or you were afraid because you got punched one time, or whatever those things are. I just did this event for myself, this sacred process. And that's what had me want to share it with you this week. It's such a big part of our own heart and spirit's restoration. So that's the first part. Get in a sacred space, walk through those events. Look at them for what they were. Not for the emotional attachment that you made to it, but the actual thing that happened. For instance, with my dad, when he died when I was 14, and what happened was he had cancer and he had a tumor and he died, and that was the fact. And if I take away my emotion and the things that I made up about it of, oh, I'm not good enough to hang around for, or, he must not have loved me or he wouldn't have died. Those were things that a kid says to themselves. And then I operated my life from those like it was the truth until I grew up enough to realize that's not what happened. He just got cancer. And I learned to embrace that and see the gift in that the gift was, man, love people now, share the love big. It had me become that ambassador for sharing the love. That was one of those great gifts that came out of that. So you can do that with every example. Walk through those incidents, see it for what it is, and look at it and say, what's the gift? That's the second part. What's the gift in the event that happened? Where was I blessed? Where's the lesson? Man, it helped me be an ambassador of sharing the love. Or getting punched by that kid in school all those times when I didn't respond and I felt weak. Helped me to realize, hey, I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's who I am. It helped carve my character. It helped me see the person that I am. That's the second part. The third part is claim it. Reinvent it. Create a new interpretation to each of those events. When you look back or you're in a situation and that old stuff comes up and says, oh, you better not. And you go, oh yeah, I realized that was an old interpretation. The new one that I installed says go for it, because that was all part of what was required. I hope that this message serves you. I hope that it helps you to really love yourself and come to love yourself so that you can love fully and make your big difference in the world. I'm Steve Havill, coach, consultant, ambassador of Sharing the Love, and I want to invite you this week and every week to get out and make your difference. Share your love. Keep it real and live your dream today.